EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the City of Angels, Los Angeles, California. But today, two AFC teams set to do battle. It should be a good one, as it'll be the Houston Texans taking on the LA Chargers. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. Kickoff just moments away. Charles, quickly, keys to the game.
For me, it's coaching. Who prepared his team the best going into this one to give them the confidence to believe that they would win the game? That's who's going to come out of this one on top.
Here's the former UCLA Bruin, Kaimi Fairbairn, to get this one started. And we are underway here in Los Angeles. Running room at the 50. Look out. He might score. He will score. Touchdown, Chargers. So a heck of a start to this one. We haven't even gotten settled in already in the end zone on the opening kickoff.
And you know what happens, too? Now you got to translate what that means, because I think for the team to just score, their defense, I think they'll be more aggressive now. They'll be bolder. They're playing with a lead and an early one and some momentum. So if you're the offensive coordinator on the other side of the field, you'd better be prepared for some heavy pressure coming your way. They're going to try and get another big score and a big one early.
Extra point up and good by Dicker. And that makes the score 7-0. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. And able to get this out to the 25. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by their quarterback now in his third season in the league.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense. I tell you what, when you're down on the scoreboard, you've got to look to your stars, and that's what they do here to start the drive. I wouldn't be surprised if they looked his way a few more times in short order. That one, well designed, and it's a quick first down.
And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
I think you put just a little bit too much heat on that one. When you throw it to the outside, you do have to be careful because you got to keep it away from the defender, but you also have to give your own guy a chance too.
2nd and 10. Stroud off the play fake. Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it. That's some good running from Stroud, and he gets them the first down.
A gain of 12.
So in this case, you'd think the defense would be collapsing to the left side of the field, and they forced him to his left, so he just tucked it away and picked up some yardage.
So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Stroud sets up the play action. He's got it to Collins, complete. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. That's good for a first down, his 2nd catch of the opening drive. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
They'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
And that's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish it as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
Play action. Stroud now. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Deion Henley in there to bring him down.
They've gobbled up over 30 yards of turf so far, but a sack knocks them backwards. And that interrupts the momentum they were building. Good opportunity for the defense to escape this drive before they get to the end zone.
The seventh play now of this opening drive. This is 3rd and long, though. Back to throw. Here's Stroud. He'll get this into the hands of Braxton Berrios. And they will rally and stop him short of the first down. They get him to the ground at the 26.
Well, don't tell any defensive coordinator I played for, but that might be considered a win for both teams because defensively they stopped them short and forced the 4th down. But offensively, they picked up enough yards to give their kicker a better shot if that's what they want to do.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Texans tried it, but they come up empty here on 4th. And this defense delivers a turnover on downs on the very first drive of the afternoon. Here are the Chargers ready to go on offense, led by their first-round pick in 2020, the man out of Oregon, Justin Herbert.
And he is just absolutely marvelous to watch throw a football. That's something I could do all day long, watch him throw routes versus air. But he's even more impressive when there are bodies on the field, and he's creating with big throws downfield. And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
Now a run. Here's the first-round pick from April's draft. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. But I bet the offensive linemen said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
Back to Hampton on first down. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
And only a couple for him there as the tackle is made at the 42. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
3rd and 5. Here's Herbert. And he'll find his man on the out route. That's Allen. They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Receivers love having the reputation of being go-to guys on 3rd down. And he was fighting like he really wanted to have that reputation, didn't he? I mean, he came very close to making that a first down.
Broke the 1 tackle, but couldn't spring himself free. On is the punter Scott here as he gets this one away. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. So now we get set to see Houston for their 2nd drive of the ball game. Well, they've got some stuff to build on from that last drive because they moved the football, CD, and then they tried to go for it on 4th down, didn't convert, probably left a bitter taste in their mouths.
I would say so, and I think that they go out in this series determined for that not to happen again. In fact, they don't even want to get to a 4th down opportunity. They just want to make sure they get it done within the parameters that they've set for themselves. Run their offense, get it into the end zone. Yeah, I think a little bit of determination and a dash of anger.
Stroud going to give to Marks. And not much doing there. Maybe a yard up to the 23.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Now 3rd down and 7. Stroud to throw it. Throw right side, taken in by Collins. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Well, starting drive number 2 off on the right foot. Completion for the first down. Drive 1 is that had to be pretty frustrating because they moved the football. They just didn't get any points out of it.
But warm-up QB, too. Let's bring in the backup. I mean, my goodness, you take them downfield and you don't score points. You know I'm being totally facetious here, right? I'm just kidding. Nice first drive. Rarely do teams score on every single drive in a game, but they like what they did there. They just hope they can pay it off this time with some points.
The defensive coordinators love that. You got a cornerback willing to stick his nose in there, come up on run support, and stop that pop pass dead in its tracks.
And, partner, one good thing about trying to defend that play, you should see it coming the whole way. You see the receiver coming in motion in your direction. Nice job eluding the blocker, making the play behind the line of scrimmage, but an even better job studying the play before you have to try and defend it in a game.
Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave them with a 3rd down and 6 to go. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Play clock down to 0, and that's going to be a delay.
Delay of game.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long. Stroud. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 37. That 3rd down conversion good for 23.
First down, Texans.
But certainly as a fan, you get a little bit nervous when you see him make those kind of throws. But they work on that in practice more than we know. And most of them now know their limits and know what they can get away with. And there's a completion right there.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. And it appears we have a Charger shaken up on that last play. More from L.A. in a moment. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Stroud looking to throw. They set up the screen, marks. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. A loss of 1, now a loss of 2, and they're staring at a 3rd and 13.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys being able to run from their assignments and finish off that play.
And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Partner, I came into this game eager to see how they would hold up in man coverage. And on that play, they held up quite well.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. And that is no good. And this will stay at a 7-point game.
And anytime you see a kicker trot out to try one from 56 yards, you know everything's got to come off perfectly for it to have a chance. If the laces aren't quite right, if he doesn't hit the fat part of the ball just right, it's unlikely to go through. And that one winds up no good.
So the missed 56-yarder, and now the flip side. Good starting field position at the 46 near midfield. Throws left side, complete to Keenan Allen. And he's brought down. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down.
And as a quarterback, you always want to exploit gaps in the defense, and he finds one here. Crossing route, working from right to left across the field. And once you get defenders going in the wrong direction, it is awfully hard for them to pivot back, and you end up getting the first down.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Justin Herbert looking to pass. And his throw here is incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Herbert now. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Third down is a down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win. And the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
On fourth down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Houston set to take over. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him. Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy's setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
As Stroud now to throw. Open man is Kirk, complete. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. He'll go down as a gain of 6, and that'll bring up second down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Texans football to start quarter 2 as they've got it with a third down coming up. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Throwing now is Stroud. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Texans first down by about a yard. It's a gain of 5 on 3rd and 4.
And the Texans first down.
They brought in the heavy set on third down, and that usually means running play. But we have seen them throw out of that formation. And sure enough, they snuck the tight end out on that one. Wound up hitting him for a first down.
Marks now on 1st and 10. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Stroud out of the gun here. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
This offense so far on third down, they've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
It's going to be another frustrating end to a drive here. This offense, they've not been able to get anything going in this first half. And now it's going to be time to gather on the sidelines and try to figure out what's going wrong. Who has an idea? Who has a plan? Time to implement it.
On is the punter Townsend as he gets this one away. L.A. set to take over again on offense. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum? They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. A play fake, and now Herbert to throw. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Sheldon Rankins abruptly ends that play with a sack.
Tremendous read and reaction by the defensive tackle, and frankly, partner, it's not that often the DTs have that type of easy access back to the quarterback. Never bought the play action fake.
Back to throw here, Herbert. Now a deep one for Johnston. And got his man, complete. Down the left sideline. Touchdown, LA! Quentin Johnston, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Chargers have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. And he showcased his blazing speed on that one.
Was he wearing football cleats or track sneakers? Because he was gone. Big-time play, and just think about what that does if you're a receiver on the team with him. Well, that's got to open things up for you as well, because if I'm a defense, I've got to get back deeper and deeper in order to keep him in front. But I'm not sure how many can actually keep him in front with that speed.
Dicker now to tack on the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it was Quentin Johnston who finished that drive off with a touchdown grab. So after the touchdown, here's Dicker out to kick this one off. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Stroud working out of the gun. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
Now Stroud. He'll try and do this himself. And he's going to get this to the 31, but that is still well short of what he needed. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down.
Well, there were a couple of extra defensive backs in the game, so he really had nowhere to go with the football despite his search for an open receiver. So he has to take off and run for it, but he comes up well short of the line to gain.
Here's Tommy Townsend on to punt. And he'll get credit for putting him inside the 20 as the fair catch is made right at about the 19-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. Herbert and the Chargers now with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They'll start it out with a run by Hampton. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Now Herbert off the bootleg. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Now third down is looming, a pickup of 2 on first down and just 1 yard there.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Here's 3rd and 7. In motion goes the tight end. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
Here's J.K. Scott set to do the punting honors. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. A 40-yard punt, no return. And the Texans will take over. And the football going back over now to the Houston Texans. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now?
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 12 yards that time for number 12 as they move the chains.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
Now he's going to step up and run, and they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
They made a nice effort to stick it with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's a 2nd down and 9. On the bootleg, Stroud. He'll swing this out to Marks. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. So they'll get nothing out of that play. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Here's Stroud. That is incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down.
Well, this first half has not gone according to plan so far offensively or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere, but it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And he gets it here to right around the 24 before he's out of bounds. 35 yards that time on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Herbert going to lead up the Chargers here, 1st and 10 at their own 24. The drive begins with a carry by Hampton. And a good physical run that time. He's going to wind up gaining 5 on that one.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
Herbert. He's got a man complete. Down to the 10. And all the way in for a Charger touchdown. Quentin Johnston. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Chargers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. So 20-0 now pending the extra point, and this place is jumping.
Yeah, you can feel it, can't you? You can also see it. You're seeing people in the stands now excited, happy, high-fiving each other, and expecting this score to continue to mount.
Extra point try now from Dicker. And it is now 21-0. The long touchdown pass gets them 6 on a very, very tidy two-play drive that time. Here's Dicker now as he'll send this one away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Well, Houston's offense taking over again. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. If they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
One play has them up past the 40 already and another 1st and 10. Again, it's Marks, and he'll be taken down at about the 45.
It's interesting going into this game. There was so much talk from both sides about who would control the line of scrimmage. I think we've seen who has it in this one so far.
Well, they bottled him up. He's barely averaging over 3 yards a carry right now. Ball spotted at the 45. Here's a 2nd and 8. Out of the gun, it's Marks. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Officially, no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Out to the flat, that's complete to his running back. So no gain on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Quentin Johnston and the offense back to work. He might be on his way to a record-setting performance. So good here. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And it's so interesting when we watch these types of days unfold for a receiver because they need a quarterback to run it accurately, people to block for the quarterback, so many other variables. But, boy, he's getting it done and in a big way. Right now, he wants to rock on every snap.
He's counting his yards in the hundreds, not the tens. From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. And they'll send the tight end in motion. Out of the gun, Herbert. That's complete. It's Ladd McConkey. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a 1st down as well.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now it's Herbert. Throw left side complete. That's Johnston. Yeah, he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Brings up 2nd and 1 at their 48-yard line.
Second down and a yard. Play action this time for Justin Herbert. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
They got completion there. That's clearly an example of one side happy, the other side not very happy. Defense, very, hey, take 1 or 2 yards. We're good with that. Offense, you got to expect to get more on the passing play.
Play action. It's Herbert. Now a deep one for Johnston. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Derek Stingley picks it. And the Texans are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line. He's certainly not been afraid to take some chances downfield. Now, look, it's paid off for him a couple of times. That time, not so fortunate.
And that's where I want to start, what you said. It's paid off a couple of times. So his aggressiveness has been good for his offense for the most part. So he throws an interception there. No one likes that, but I would not rein him back in. The return on investment thus far has been pretty good. 2 touchdowns to 1 interception.
On the ground, it's Marks to start the drive. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half.
I think if they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on first down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. So after the run for a yard, here comes 2nd and 9 from the 26. Back to throw. Here's Stroud. That's going to be caught by Kirk. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Stroud to throw it. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. Well, they only needed a small gain on 3rd down. They end up getting over 30 yards.
First down.
Well, he looked his way quite a bit in this first half, and with good reason. You can see it there. He has such a handful defensively, just too hard to keep him under wraps. He delivers a big play here for this offense.
Stroud. A short one going to be taken in here by Schultz. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. A shotgun snap to Stroud. Now he'll tuck this and run. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a hole. Give him 4 yards there, and that should be the final play of this first half. So halftime here out west. Let's go east. That's where we find Scott Hansen with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks much. Welcome in, everyone, to the Orlando studios. Scott Hansen with you for a quick recap of the first half, which has been strongly one-sided. This is heading towards blowout territory unless they can come from behind and get themselves a victory. Let's find out what happens in the second half. Let's go back out to the commentary team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Scott, thank you very much. We are ready to get started here with the second half. The Texans down on the scoreboard, but they do get the first crack here as we are back underway in the second half. And he won't quite make it to the 25. So here's the Texans offense now. They get set to start this 3rd quarter. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball to the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
It's a gain of 10.
44 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. And this will be incomplete.
We're going to give out a little applause on that play. It has to go to the defense. More good work by them. They've taken away the passing lanes all game long, and you can see the frustration that it's causing because he just about threw that one into the first row.
Now a 2nd and 10. Stroud looking to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Higgins. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
And Brandon, as you know, sometimes it's a lot tougher to run with these tight ends nowadays in the NFL. They're just bigger wide receivers. He lined up on the left side of formation, ran a drag route across the field, and tried to work his way open. He was able to make the catch, but the defenders were there, couldn't do a whole lot with it afterwards.
And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to, pick up a first down.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. And they'll go play action here with Stroud. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. They couldn't contain Deshaun Hand that time as he gets home for the sack.
What a nice read and play by the defensive tackle. Never bought the play-action fake. Went right for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12. They'll send Kirk in motion right. To try again after the sack. Stroud. No gain on the play. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
Give him the completion. No gain. But let's focus in on that tackle. Open field tackling. The hardest thing to do in the game, I believe.
But when you get outside the tackle box, it becomes a numbers game. The defense had more than they could block. From the gun on 3rd down, here's Stroud. Now he's going to step up and run. And they'll get him down at about the 37, well short of the first. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down.
Nice call on defense, rolling out the nickel package for that big 3rd down play, and they did an excellent job locking down coverage and forcing him to try and run for it, and he doesn't get there, which brings up a big 4th down call.
And that's off the right upright, and it bounces away, no good. And this will stay a 3-touchdown game.
Partner, this is certainly turning out to be one of those days. Here we are in the second half. They're being shut out. Offense is doing nothing. And you're just saying, please, come on, give us something here to your kicker. But even this is no good.
So after the missed long field goal attempt, this offense set up nicely at the 44-yard line. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
2nd and 6 at their 48-yard line.
Now a 2nd and 6. A run once more with Hampton. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. To say they've kept him under wraps running the football, that's an understatement. He's been completely neutralized.
Yeah, they've essentially taken him out of the game, haven't they? And you know all the teams say, we're not going to let him beat us. Well, that's exactly what's happened here. They've lived up to that.
Herbert now. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And they call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the Texans are going to have the football with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. And now out comes Houston.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Second and 9. And Stroud now to throw.
Now he'll tuck this and run. And Stroud wisely slides down safely after picking up the 1st down. A good decision in the end to pull it and run, get some 9 yards and a 1st.
The defense did its job of taking away a quick throw, but that's only half the battle because they've got to get to him before he can make a run for it. A little bit late containing him there, so he makes a nice gain out of a play that looked like it was in trouble.
From out of the gun, here's Marks. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, it's hard to have vision as a runner and find a hole when there's nothing but defenders in your way. They stacked that one up really well. But give him credit. Instead of trying to bounce it out and turn it into a big play, which might have turned into a big loss, kind of just took his medicine there and took the 1 yard.
And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
He was tackled at the 27-yard line.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Back to throw. Stroud. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete.
Well, they had that one snipped out defensively. That's a tough one to connect on when you got multiple defenders in the area, and it winds up incomplete.
The Texans send the punter out as he's on for the 5th time here today. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. So a change of possession here on the punt.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
L.A. readies for its next possession.
Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still they've got the lead here and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming. Azeez Al-Shaair in to make the stop.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Justin Herbert looking to pass. They'll set up the screen to Hampton. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 12 yards there. The Chargers have a 1st down.
And when you have success throwing the football, the old cliche becomes true. The playbook opens up wide, and these screen passes, they become even more difficult to stop.
Well, now they'll try the end around. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Not your conventional play call, but that's okay. You probe the defense a little bit with some of everything in your playbook. That way they have to account for everything as the game moves on.
From the 43, here's 2nd and 9.
Here's Herbert. He'll check this one down to Hampton. Pulling a gain of 3 on the play. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's going to be taken down with another 1st down as the stop's made at the Texans' 33. Give them 22 there on the 3rd down conversion.
1st and 10 at the 33-yard line.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They've let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. And he'll go down at the 26, following a gain of 6.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
2nd down and 3. Again, it's Hampton. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
Well, this has been a long drive. In fact, it's eaten up a good chunk of the 3rd quarter, which is precisely what you want when you're playing with the lead. You control the football, you control the clock, and impose your will on the defense.
On the give, it's Vidal. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. 2nd and 7 from the 20. Back to throw here, Herbert. Over the middle, and it's caught. Keenan Allen. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
I think as he began this throw, you saw that the area was congested, but he has a lot of confidence in his arm, and he fits that one in there nicely. They pick up the catch, not much yardage afterwards.
In motion, the tight end. And they're not going to get this one off in time. It'll be a delay.
Delay of game, offense.
Instead of a 3rd and 4, now they have to manage a 3rd and 9 after the delay of game. Here's Herbert. And he's going to hook up with his big tight end, complete. And he is not going to get to the marker as they stop him short at the 14. Three quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood. It's Charger football, and they've got the lead as well as we begin the 4th quarter.
31-yard attempt.
And his kick is indeed good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
Well, now how about this return? And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. And it appears we have a Charger shaken up on that last play. More from L.A. in a moment. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. It's been a tough go for them. It's still without any points here in the 4th quarter. And a big deficit, Charles, but they moved the football on some drives. They just haven't had any points.
Yeah, and I know in their minds they're thinking the game plan has actually been working. We just haven't scored points. Well, isn't that the bottom line, partner? To put points on the board. So if you're moving it and you're not scoring, is it really working? Right now, they've got nothing left to lose. They might as well go for broke.
Throwing now is Stroud. Bulldozes past him. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. The 22 more yards there and another first down. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. If they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad. This is certainly a team that has proven it likes to target its backs through the air and defensively. They were aware of that and certainly were prepared on that throw.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here goes Stroud again. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Nico Collins, 25 yards for the touchdown. And the Texans are finally on the board here in the 4th quarter. So they will get on the scoreboard here. Give them credit for that. Too little, too late, but no 0. Oh, you're going slow clap on me.
Not very nice, is it?
No, but they haven't been very nice on offense. It's been a struggle. Now the Houston offense is going to stay out there as they'll try for 2.
The Texans will line up for the 2-point conversion.
Stroud's going to try to throw for the conversion. He's got it. So they convert the 2. That keeps their slim hopes alive as we're back to a 2-score game. Well, it's still an uphill battle from here, that's for sure, but that makes it a 2-score game.
And now we see why teams practice so much on the 2-point conversion, why you have more than one play ready, because you may need multiples to throw out a ball game. There's a great example right there.
And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. The Chargers offense and Justin Herbert getting set for this next drive. And this defense might be about ready to wave the white flag. Nothing they have tried to throw at him has been that successful. He just processes things so quickly and makes a right read seemingly every time. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on 1st down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. From the 31, here's 2nd and a couple. Herbert going to give to Hampton. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
And this is exactly what you're looking to do offensively. If you can start stringing some runs together like this, you'll keep churning out 1st downs, and that's going to put you in a great position to carry this one home.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll work inside here, Hampton. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 39-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 7. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. He's got the tight end. That's Gadsden. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
1st and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because, to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
On first down, it's Hampton. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
An awful lot of congestion in the middle third of the field, but how about our defensive tackle right there? He didn't just hold the line, he provided some push and smacked the ball carrier down for a loss.
Herbert. This one finds McConkey. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 22 yards there, a first down. Well, normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the 4th quarter, but the way that they've passed it with such success, I don't know, maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? In this stage of the game, you would think you would switch to a running attack, but you're exactly right. They've thrown it so well throughout the game, and trusting this quarterback, I think you continue to do so.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
And he is going to have the Chargers first down. They needed 5 there on 3rd down. He winds up getting 7.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
On the ground, it's Vidal. He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Herbert. He's got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Chargers. Ladd McConkey from 10 yards out. And the Chargers have pretty well put it away here in the 4th quarter. I've heard you use the term put-away drive, and that right there seemed like the definition of a put-away drive.
Yeah, it certainly just pops right up out of the book, doesn't it? Because up 2 scores already, just wanted to possess the football, keep converting and picking up first downs. And if the drive ends in 3 points, that's terrific. If it ends in a touchdown, fantastic.
Extra point up and good by Dicker. And that pushes the lead up to 23. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it ends with the Chargers getting into the end zone. Now after the Dicker field goal, he's back out ready to send it away. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Houston set to take over. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow. Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now Stroud. Throw left side to Higgins. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution, even though the scoreboard is going against you. You want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. And that last reception puts him over 150 yards now on the game, Charles.
And now it's not just execution. It's not just performance. It's a mental aspect that's going on. Because right now, he's got the defense so much on their heels, got them looking at each other. Who's going to cover this guy, and what type of coverage can we put out there to try and slow him down?
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
As soon as he leaked out and began his route, someone on the defensive side broke with him and arrived just in time to separate him from another reception.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. The throwing again is Stroud. Open man is Kirk, complete. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 20-yard line. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first. Here's Stroud. That'll be complete to Marks. And the Texans are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle made at the 10-yard line.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
Back to throw. Here's Stroud. Now he's going to step up and run. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line.
His running ability has been an extra dimension of their game plan thus far. For once, though, he doesn't create any magic against the front that's prepared for him to try and take off.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Stroud to throw it. Well, a tough throw there across his body. It's incomplete.
Great coverage down in the end zone. He's scanning the field, looking. No one ever came open. So in the end, he makes the best decision and just fires it over the end line.
This likely a must-have. 3rd and goal. Stroud. Now he'll tuck this and run. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down.
That was a good effort there trying to do it on his own, but as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you, and if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Christian Kirk there to make the grab. And the Texans' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Now the Houston offense is going to stay out there as they'll try for two.
The Texans will line up for the two-point conversion.
They'll try and throw for it. And now the pressure gets there, and he goes down. So he couldn't get rid of the football, and that deficit stays right where it is. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And this will not work out. The Chargers able to recover. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie. And they'll run the option to start the drive. Give him 4 yards there on the first down keeper. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for L.A. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. And that hurts. If it was running into the kicker, wouldn't be a first down. Roughing, it is a first.
And just think about the differences between the two. Running into the kicker almost feels inadvertent, just a small tap, so to speak. But when you rough him, usually bodies are hitting the ground and flying all different places. And the difference is 5 yards or 15. And in this case, that's a big play.
And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8. Didn't get to the sticks, but that's an ideal carry there on first down, isn't it?
I mean, now you're 2nd and 1. Although, you know, in the NFL, even if you picked up the first down, I don't think it's a big difference because the clock doesn't stop.
Yeah, not like college.
Right. If it's college football, you want to 2nd and 1 is probably better than picking up the first down because in college football, the clock stops with every first down and actually aids the defense in that situation.
So it's a win here for the L.A. Chargers, and it was thanks to the fine play of their quarterback, CD, Justin Herbert.
Yeah, he was in complete control of this offense. He had 3 touchdown passes on the afternoon. And to be honest, he really made it look easy out there.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say so long from Southern California.